Hey everyone, and welcome back to the official Simpsons YouTube channel. For over 3 decades, the Quickie Mart has been a cornerstone of Springfield, a place for a late-night snack, a winning lottery ticket, or just a friendly, a face. And at the heart of that store was its proprietor, Apu Nahasapamapalan, a character who, for many years, was a beloved part of our town. But as times change, so do conversations. And for the last few years, a very important conversation has been happening around Apu. We've heard from so many of you, fans who missed the character, and fans who were hurt by his depiction. It's a complex issue, and one we've been thinking about a lot. Today, we want to talk about it openly, not with excuses, but with a look toward the future, inspired by some friends of ours over in Seymour's Bay. The story of Apu's departure is well known. In 2017, the documentary The Problem with Apu brought a long simmering discussion to the forefront. It featured heartfelt testimony from comedians and actors of South Asian descent about how the character, and particularly the voice, had been used to mock them and perpetuate harmful stereotypes. Hank Azaria, who had voiced Apu since the beginning, listened to these concerns. In 2020, he formally announced he would no longer voice the character. Since then, Apu has remained a silent presence in Springfield, a resident of our town, but one without a voice. This wasn't a decision made lightly. It came from a place of respect for the audience and an acknowledgement that some things, even when not created with malicious intent, can have a painful impact. But it left us with a question. What do you do with a character who is both cherished and controversial? Around the same time this conversation was solidifying, other animated shows were facing similar reckonings. Over at Bob's Burgers, there was the character of Marshmallow, a Black transgender woman who was a fan favorite for her warm, fun-loving personality. Like Apu, her voice actor wasn't representative of her identity. David Herman, a white cisgender man, last voiced her in 2017. Following the industry-wide shift in 2020, the creators of Bob's Burgers announced that Marshmallow would be temporarily shelved until she could be recast appropriately. For a while, it seemed both Apu and Marshmallow were in the same boat, beloved characters put on hold due to issues of representation. But this is where their paths diverged, and where we find a potential blueprint for moving forward. Bob's Burgers didn't just leave Marshmallow in limbo. They brought her back. She was recast with the incredibly talented Jari Jones, a Black transgender actress. The new performance kept the character's signature low register, but softened it, moving away from a caricature and toward a more authentic characterization. But the masterstroke came in a recent episode. In Hope and Mike Night, Marshmallow gets the spotlight. We see her perform for her parents for the first time, sharing a vulnerable, emotional part of herself. In just a few minutes of screen time, the show added immense depth to her character. She wasn't just the fun friend who says, "Hey baby." She was a daughter, an artist, a person with a history and with hopes for the future. They didn't erase what came before. They built upon it with nuance and care. They turned a problem into an opportunity for better storytelling. So, what can we learn from this? It shows that bringing a character back isn't just about recasting. It's about reinvesting. It's about asking, who is this person beyond the trope? When you strip away the controversial elements, Apu is a hard-working immigrant, a devoted husband and father, a man with a PhD in computer science and an unwavering belief in the quality of his hot dogs. There's a good person there. The challenge isn't his personality. It's his presentation. Recasting Apu with a talented actor of Indian descent is the obvious first step. But the work can't stop there. The Bob's Burgers model shows us the next step is to give him depth that was previously missing. We've even tried to approach this before. Years ago, an episode featured Apu's nephew, Jamshed, who called out his uncle's stereotypical behavior directly. It was a starting point, an acknowledgement within the show itself that the critique was valid. But it was just that, a start. What if we took the next step? What if an episode explored Apu's specific background? For years, fans have debated whether he's meant to be Hindu, Tamil, Bengali. The show has been vague. What if we made it specific? What if we met his family in a meaningful way? What if we learned about his life before the Quickie Mart? Our show gave an origin story to a couch gag. Surely Apu deserves the same respect. Some have argued that it's better to just leave Apu in Schrodinger's box, neither here nor there, to just simply let him fade away. But we believe that's the worst option. Leaving Apu silent and in the background means the version of him that caused hurt is the only version that will ever exist. It freezes him in time as a stereotype. Ignoring the problem doesn't solve it. It just perpetuates the harm through inaction. We've successfully recast other characters to ensure more authentic representation, like Dr. Hibbert and Bleeding Gums Murphy, now both voiced by the brilliant Kevin Michael Richardson. We know it can be done. The path forward isn't about erasing the past or pretending the controversy never happened. It's about acknowledging it and doing the hard work to build something better. It's about collaborating with Indian and South Asian talent, writers, actors, and consultants to shape a new chapter for Apu, one that's funny, heartfelt, and, above all, respectful. The story of Springfield is always evolving, just like the world around it. We don't have all the answers today, but we're listening, we're learning, and we believe in the power of evolution. Apu has been a part of this town for a long time. And maybe, just maybe, his most important story is yet to be told.